I'm Mai Salazar, bringing you today's burning issues and the hottest news here on Newsforce.
Here are today's headlines. NTC eyes 110 million SIM card registrants as deadline draws near. PNP says no security threats yet against Marcos' second SONA. Senate Minority Leader Koko Pimentel III criticizes enactment of MIF Act. BI reports illegal recruiters targeting former OFWs. PNP to conduct free rides to affected commuters due to transport strike on SONA. Philippine women's football team gears up for the 2023 FIFA World Cup. Fair and balanced news. Comprehensive reports that will take you to the heart of the action. This is Newsforce.
For today's top story, the National Telecommunications Commission, or NTC, earmarks 110 million SIM cards registered by July 25. According to NTC Deputy Commissioner John Paulo Salvajan, 103,519,000 people have registered their SIM cards, equivalent to 61.6% of all active SIMs in the country. With this, Salvajan urged the public to register to prevent the hassle of a SIM deactivation, given that there will be no more extension of the registration deadline. The Philippine National Police, or PNP, has yet to find security threats against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s second State of the Nation address, or SONA, on July 24. Meantime, the Quezon City Police District, or QCPD, said it has not yet received any applications from organizations planning to perform protest actions, although it expects that several organizations will be present on the day of the SONA. In case there are protest demonstrations, the PNP is ready and now performing simulation exercises, communication exercises, walkthroughs, clearance operations, and contingency planning. Meantime, through the issued Labor Advisory Number 16 Series of 2023, the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, warns the public against illegal recruitment activities as human trafficking and online platforms are becoming rampant. The agency stressed that any form of recruitment done by a non-licensee or non-holder of authority shall be penalized in violating Labor Code of the Philippines. With this, DOLE encouraged the public to apply on legitimate employers such as the Public Employment Service Offices, PhilJobNet, and licensed private employment agencies. The Philippine Statistics Authority's Census of Population and Housing reported that the literacy rate in the country improved at 1.2%. Jade Buhoy for the full details.
Philippine Statistics Authority released a report based on the Census of Population and Housing, or CPH, that over 97 million or 97% of the population are literate, in which the recorded literacy rate in the country has improved to a 1.2% from 95.8% in 2015. Based on CPH and 2015 census population, a person is considered literate when there is an ability to read and write a simple message in any language or dialect. Further, the highest literacy rate in the country is recorded at the National Capital Region with 98.9%. while the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao has the lowest literacy rate at 86.4%. In conjunction, census also revealed that there are 2 in every 3 children aged 5 to 9 years old has elementary education prior to K-12 curriculum, whereas the female to reach senior high preferred academic track as a field of specialization. However, males are more reliant on management and administration courses. Although the rise of literacy rate is currently evident, the Philippines previously suffered from illiteracy that led to limited employability and lost business productivity. For Golden Nation Network, this is Jade Buhoy.
In a separate story, according to its initial investigation, the Department of Foreign Affairs or DFA believes there was no foul play in the death of a Filipino woman who was discovered in a Hong Kong pier last week. DFA Assistant Secretary Paul Raymond Cortez stated that the incident is undergoing a comprehensive probe since the body was first found. He added that the DFA is waiting for Hong Kong authorities to disclose the migrant worker's official cause of death in order to transport its remains to the Philippines. Cortez also reassured the victim's family that the company and the Hong Kong government would provide benefits. The National Action Plan for El Niño is expected to be finalized today in response to the effects of the extreme drought experienced in the country. The discussion will be organized by the National El Niño team, composed of different government agencies led by the Civil Defense Administrator and National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council or NDRRMC Executive Director under Secretary Ariel Nepomuceno in Camp Aguinaldo. The meeting will tackle the long-term plan for securities in food, water, energy, health, public safety, and cross-cutting issues that will be science-based and whole-of-nation strategy in accordance to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s order. It can be recalled last July 14 that the El Niño started and will last until next year based on the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration or PAG-ASA. For weather updates, rain will fall over some of the Visayas and Mindanao as a result of a low-pressure area or LPA spotted at 710 kilometers east of Hinatuan, Surigao del Sur and Intertropical Convergence Zone or ITCZ hitting Mindanao. With this, cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms are expected over eastern Visayas, Caraga, Bohol, Camiguin, Misamis Oriental, Davao de Oro, and Davao Oriental, while partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms will be felt in Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Coming up next on Newsforce. President Marcos Jr. acts to empower PWD societal inclusion. Pasig River Ferry surpasses 2022 passenger count. Senate Minority Leader Koko Pimentel III criticizes enactment of MIF Act. Stay tuned for more stories and reports when Newsforce returns. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. expressed his commitment in supporting persons with disabilities or PWDs and their inclusion in society. Daniza Lopez has the full report.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. stressed the government's dedication to support persons with disabilities or PWDs and ensure their full participation in an inclusive society. President Marcos Jr. highlighted the importance of creating bridges of opportunity, empathy, and understanding for PWDs, as he stated that providing a supportive environment for PWDs aligns with the government's vision of a new Philippines that leaves no one behind. The President mentioned the Department of Social Welfare and Development, the Department of Health, local government units, and partner agencies to enhance programs and services that empowers PWDs and societal inclusion. In relation to this, President Marcos Jr. acknowledged the Mabini Awards as a reminder that a person's worth is not defined by their disability. The President expressed gratitude to the Mabini awardees for their efforts in breaking down barriers and advocating for the rights of persons with disabilities. For Golden Nation Network, this is Daniza Lopez.
Meanwhile, Senate Minority Leader Koko Pimentel III expressed concern over the enactment of the Maharlika Investment Fund Act as risky investing. Daniza Lopez is back for the full report.
Senate Minority Leader Koko Pimentel III raised concerns about the rush passage of the Maharlika Investment Fund or MIF Act, leading to inherent contradictions with the law and uncertainty about its economic repercussions. He cautioned that this newly created fund could become a problematic entity, given its designation as a super government-owned and controlled corporation. Pimentel pointed out that the Philippines has no underlying asset to sustainably support the MIF, thus the government's decision to utilize existing funds from government banks is a move that ruins the status quo and introduces greater risks by gambling with the people's money. Moreover, Pimentel highlighted multiple grounds on which the MIF is likely to face legal challenges before the Supreme Court. Pimentel mentioned the defective presidential certification as the law's enactment involved unconstitutional shortcuts, as there was no public emergency or calamity address, leading to a lack of the required legislative procedure of 3 readings on 3 separate days. Pimentel added that there was no showing of economic viability, undue delegation of legislative power, and violation of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas' independence need to enact a measure that uses public funds. Furthermore, Pimentel said that there is a violation of substantive due process, as the MIF insists on being a sovereign wealth fund when it does not meet the criteria, leading to inherent contradictions and confusion within the law. Pimentel added that there has been an altered bill doctrine, as the version of the MIF signed by the President is not the one passed by the Congress. According to Pimentel, the signing of the MIF Act could worsen the Philippines' national debt, which already stands at 14.1 trillion pesos. With the survey that 80% of Filipinos have little to no knowledge about the MIF and 51% expect little to no benefits from the Maharlika Fund, Pimentel suggests that it would have been better for the President to veto the MIF Act to allow for a more inclusive discussion among the Filipino people. For Golden Nation Network, this is Daniza Lopez.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. expressed hope in the recent West Philippine Sea developments following former President Rodrigo Duterte and Chinese President Xi Jinping meeting in China. President Marcos Jr., however, noted that recent claims of 2 Philippine Coast Guard ships were being followed and prevented from entering Ayungin Shoal for a support mission in the WPS by Chinese Coast Guard boats. Marcos stated he is open to new channels of contact and sees no conflict with President Duterte's meeting with the Chinese president as long as it could help the country. In other news, MMDA Pasig River Ferry reported an increase in passenger count with over 100,000 from January to June this year. Pasig River Ferry aims to ease the travel of Filipinos and avoid the traffic roads by offering a hassle-free transportation to passengers going to Metro Manila. It can be recalled that last year, 69,899 passengers were recorded. The endangered eagle oriental honey buzzard is now in the custody of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DENR after a concerned citizen, Ernesterio de los Santos, turned it over. According to de los Santos, the endangered species was being sold by a seller where he immediately bought it to surrender to Kagawad Teresa Andaya Bravo. The public is reminded to surrender any endangered species to authorities for proper care. On to another report. The Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE vowed to promote decent work and sustainable economic growth during the ASEAN Labor Ministers Meeting midterm review workshops that fosters partnership on labor-related matters in Southeast Asia. DOLE Officer in Charge Undersecretary Benedicto Bitonio Jr. emphasized the importance of boosting the welfare and rights of workers in the ASEAN community despite the challenges faced due to the impacts of the pandemic. As part of this, DOLE will ensure inclusive employment and skills development through protecting the rights of the workers in the Philippines. The Bureau of Immigration intercepted a woman on Ninoy Aquino International Airport bound to Doha, Qatar, due to illegal recruitment schemes. Jade Buhoy for the full story.
The Bureau of Immigration or BI reported a recurring illegal recruitment modus that targets former overseas Filipino workers or OFWs. BI Commissioner Norman Tancinco stated that the apprehension of 37-year-old woman on Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 1, bound to Doha, Qatar, was due to illegal recruitment to work as a household service worker in Dubai. Further, the victim said that her documents will only be processed upon arriving in Dubai, since she does not have a confirmed employer as of her travel, in which a similar incident was also reported by a female victimized through an advertisement she saw on social media application TikTok. In line with this, Tancinco reminded Filipinos aspiring to work abroad to exercise caution and be vigilant in their transaction with their recruiters. He also warned illegal recruiters that their agency and the Department of Migrant Workers has an integrated system that identifies the legitimacy of presented clearances. For Golden Nation Network, this is Jade Buhoy.
Up next on Newsforce. First Lady Araneta Marcos, DOH, launched Lab for All caravan in Zambales. PNP to conduct free rides to affected commuters due to transport strike on SONA. Bel Mariano drops music video for singles Somber and Solemn. Stay tuned for more stories and reports when Newsforce returns. The Department of Health or DOH recently inaugurated the Lab for All caravan in Zambales with First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos leading the event. Provided in the caravan is the extension of free health services, including the distribution of medicine and consultation for pediatrics, obstetrics, gynecology, ECG, dental extraction, minor surgeries, eye checkup, and others. Other organizations including the DILG, DSWD, TESDA, SHED, Food and Drug Administration, PhilHealth Insurance Corporation, and PCSO were merged to improve the quality of healthcare for Filipinos. On to another story. The Philippine National Police or PNP will conduct free rides for the affected passengers due to the impending transport strike next week, in line with the Second State of the Nation Address or SONA of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. This is according to the planned strike of the Manibela Group to give way to the President's SONA on Monday at the Batasang Pambansa complex in Quezon City. According to PNP spokesperson Police Colonel Jean Fajardo, the available mobility assets to be used will be released to designated choke points and go-to places. Meanwhile, the PNP is coordinating with the Land Transportation Office or LTO and the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board or LTFRB to create an effective contingency plan. On sports, the Philippine women's football team prepares to compete in this year's FIFA Women's World Cup to be held in New Zealand on Friday. 2 days before the official start of the FIFA World Cup, the Filipinas go against Sweden in an unofficial friendly match recently, which the team considers as a learning experience to improve their performance. After the official play with Sweden on Friday, the national team will go against New Zealand on July 25 and Norway on the 30th to wrap the tournament. The opening ceremony for the tournament will officially start tomorrow. For entertainment news, the music video for Bel Mariano's brand new track, Somber and Solemn, has been made publicly available. Bel wrote the song together with Francesca Johnny Chua Mahusay, Rock Santos, Trisha Denise, and Jeremy G. The track serves as the lead single for Mariano's two-part sophomore album, Somber, which was released last month. The music video, which was directed by Raymar King Bingkang, is currently available on the Star Music's YouTube channel. And here's a recap of today's headlines.
Here are today's headlines. NTC eyes 110 million SIM card registrants as deadline draws near. PNP says no security threats yet against Marcos' second SONA. Senate Minority Leader Koko Pimentel III criticizes enactment of MIF Act. BI reports illegal recruiters targeting former OFWs. PNP to conduct free rides to affected commuters due to transport strike on SONA. Philippine women's football team gears up for the 2023 FIFA World Cup. Fair and balanced news. Comprehensive reports that will take you to the heart of the action. This is Newsforce.
And those were the top stories of the day. Stay updated on the day's biggest stories. Get updates on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Golden Nation Network. I'm Mai Salazar, and this is Newsforce.